Now at 4:30, breaking news near Winters. Live Copter 3 over the scene of some type of a grass fire. You can see a lot of white smoke coming from this fire. This is just west of 505, putting up a lot of smoke right now. And you can see the cars that are driving on the 505. It looks like at least the breeze is blowing that smoke away from the 505. So it doesn't seem to be hampering the visibility for drivers.
So as we look at this, we believe to the right of your screen is northbound. The car is going to the right of your screen. The car is going to the left of your screen is southbound, and it's right on the other side there. And looking at Google Earth as we look at this, you can see some flames really kicking up there. But we do have some brush and some orchards that are right there, right along the freeway. And so right now that is kicking up a whole lot of smoke. It's not affecting traffic right now. You can see the traffic moving, but as the Live Copter 3 gets closer to the scene, you'll be able to see that there are some orchards and some crops that are right there that run parallel with 505. And if you go farther to the west, that's when you get into the community of Winters. We're not aware of any evacuations at this time, but in between 505 and Winters, we have Puda Creek that runs through there. So we have a natural break between those crops and those trees there that are on fire.
Well, there's also a utility pole on fire that you can see right in the middle of your screen, so you can clearly see the flames tearing through that utility pole, and it looks like this thing's pretty much going unchecked. We can't see on the other side of 505 if there are emergency crews on the scene yet. It doesn't look like they're there from this vantage point, but they could be on the other side of that ridge. But you can clearly see those flames leaping up on the other side, tearing through that utility pole, and also those trees and the vegetation that we're seeing on the side. Even just look at the median there and how dry the grass is there on the median. There you're seeing the flames right there and a little bit of black smoke coming off of that. It's hard to see what's on the other side of that, but like I said, it's not affecting traffic, which is the great news, but it is really going right up to the edge of the 505. That will obviously be a nice natural break for it, but because we are seeing a breeze, and look at how quickly that smoke is moving, it could carry an ember. It could go to the median there. It could also, if the wind shifts at all, that smoke would act as a wall for drivers who are trying to get through there. But you can see how fast it's chewing through all that dry grass.
Yeah, you can really see it ripping through that right now. So putting up a lot of smoke. We see that flame right there, and it's going to go the direction of the wind, and it's going to burn all this brush up as it moves through the area. So Live Copter 3 now getting overhead right over 505 at this point. You can see, yeah, this is right next to the road. So it's unclear what started this fire, but of course, vehicles going up and down the road there, it just takes one little spark if something was dragging and there was a chain or something like that for this to erupt into flames.
And this is pretty close to Wolfskill Road and Tubbs Road. As we zoom in a little bit more, there's another utility pole that looks like it's catching on fire. You can see there's several of them right around all of these trees that we have in the area, and you can see just how quickly it's moving through this area, especially because of that breeze. We'll have to check in with Dirk in a little bit to find out what the wind is doing in this part of Winters and near this area. But at least it's not affecting the driving. And look at, this is a great vantage point if we could hold this here, because it really shows, Curtis was talking about the breaks with the roads and the highway there, and that really gives us a really good picture of that square and where it will be a natural break. Hopefully, unless the embers get carried away, hopefully that won't happen, but it's really just kind of a nice little square there.
So as you were saying, Lisa, there right below our banner to the left, that looks like that is Wolfskill Road. And then off to the left, you see that road, that looks like that is Winters Road. And then you can see that the shrubs and stuff that are right in there. So it's burning in between those shrubs, and there's a stretch of grass that is in between that and 505 at this point.
There's so many trees in this concentrated area, it almost looks like it could be some sort of a farm or something like that, a tree farm or something like that. Very interesting, but at least we do know that it doesn't look like any structures are burning right now. There are just a couple of structures dotted throughout this area, but not a lot. And that smoke is really laying down flat. So it'll be interesting to find out what the wind speed is.
Live Copter 3 really helping us out here with that overlay that's so helpful, showing us exactly where it's burning. So you can see 505 there right in the middle of your screen. And it looks like at this point the fire is kind of moving to the north. The Live Copter 3 is pointed to the west at this point. So yeah, you can see there's just a lot of brush right there, a lot of dry brush as we moved on into the summer. This brush does easily catch on fire, and it kicks up a lot of flame and a lot of smoke.
And I'm counting. Look at that little bush right there in the middle. Let's count. I mean, it's just a matter of seconds before it takes it over. And look at how quickly it's moving up just right to the side of the road there in the asphalt, which will be a natural break. But it just happens so fast. And again, we're still not seeing any firefighting personnel on the scene at this time. But you can see for yourself in real time with these exclusive live pictures from LiveCopter 3 just how fast this happens. This is why they talk about making sure you don't have any chains hanging off of your car or your truck or anything like that. I mean, it's just a small spark. We're seeing that with another wildfire that we have burning right now, where it was just someone using a wrench and just a little bit of too much friction caused the spark, which caused the dry grass nearby to catch on fire. And there you go. I mean, it's accidental, but it happens. And so we have to be super careful during these times.
What is hard to see, but if you look into the middle right part of your screen, through that smoke, there is a home on that particular property right there. And so right there to the right, the smoke is kind of covering it just a bit, but LiveCopter 3 is pushing in just the best you can. But I'm able to compare with a Google satellite image right now that right there, just south of that Carrion Circle street right there on that property, there is a home. So there we could see as we zoom in.
Yeah, and
right
that's
there.
the home that I was referring to when I said there were just maybe a couple of structures dotted throughout the area. That's the one I saw, and then there was one other one. It looks like there's a lot of good defensible space and dirt around that house, but look at there are a couple other structures as well, and that might even be, it looks like an above, there's the other house right there.
Pool,
yeah, an above ground pool, which is hard to see underneath this wind. And we're getting word that this wind from LiveCopter 3, they're saying this is about a 19 mile per hour wind that they're seeing at this time near Winters, but it's really laying that smoke down pretty flat. I think we're waiting for word on if the fire crews are showing up yet. But I mean, we could see for ourselves here with these live pictures that you're not really seeing any crews on hand yet. But thankfully, this whole area is surrounded by asphalt and road. So hopefully none of those embers will be carried away.
Exactly right. And that defensible space certainly hopefully going to help those homes right there on that particular property. But that smoke, yeah, it's going across 505 right now. So hopefully people are driving much slower as they go through the area. But this grass fire right here rapidly spreading to this area without anybody fighting it at this point.
Curtis, when you were looking at the Google map, that really heavily tree area there, is that some sort of like a tree farm or something like that, or can you tell?
It's tough to tell from the satellite view.
It looks like it's so precisely lined up. You know what I mean? It's like it looks like it was planted almost
intentionally.
Yeah, and we're only seeing that shadow that you saw from that chopper. That's LiveCopter 3 shadow that you're seeing. So there isn't any aerial firefighting planes there in the area.
And there
That's it's just us right now.
There's the power lines right there, the 3 power lines through there. Lisa, as you were saying there, it's right on Winters Road. I went down to a Google Street View from May of last year, and yeah, there are some sort of trees.
Orchard.
It's an orchard of some kind. Not sure what they're growing on those trees, but those trees appear greened up, so it's just the dry grass at this point burning around those trees.
Yeah, so they probably have a sprinkler system and that sort of thing. It looked like maybe I saw a person down there, but it was hard to see through all that smoke. But we do know we've seen at least 1 or 2 utility poles go up in flames, which we'll have to get a look at the PG&E outage map to see if we start seeing any outages on that, because this would affect some customers in the area. So you can see the smoke is still definitely going in one very clear direction right now,
moving to the north,
fanned by that wind and just pushing those flames up straight to the side of the 505. You can see a lot of people obviously just staying in that number 1, the fast lane there, to kind of stay away from those flames on the side of the road. But the smoke went over the road for just a little bit, but then the wind changed again, and now it's going back the other direction.
All right, so Livecopter 3 has come back around the other side, and so you can see the view here pointed to the west over 505, and yeah, it's just still smoldering there in this particular area, but you can see the flames still a distance from that particular home that we were looking at, which is off of Winters Road, and the map here shows Carrion Circle. I don't believe that's a street that anybody could drive on. It looks like it's probably a private road, but that home there does have a lot of defensible space around it, so hopefully the flames just burn right up to that defensible space and run out of fuel, and it burns itself out.
Okay, and I know this wind is just kind of pushing it pretty quickly. It is certainly fascinating to watch just how fast it does happen, and to be able to watch it from this vantage point. But it does look like it could potentially threaten those at least looks like we're seeing 2 homes or 2 structures on this property. But you can see just how quickly it just leaves a path of just charred remains after those flames just tear right through it. They're not very big flames, and it doesn't look like it's really getting up into the trees, but it did hike up those utility poles, and it's just chewing through this dry grass right now. I know meteorologist Dirk Verdoorn is really taking a closer look at just the traffic patterns that we're seeing along 505 right now, and maybe he could tell us when he's ready about the winds, because I would love to know, what the wind speed is.
I can talk about the winds whenever you wish.
What are the winds doing right now in that area?
Got southerly winds right now. There's no station right there where this is taking place, and there's not even one near Winters right now. But the closest ones that I'm seeing, we've got sustained winds that are between 7 to 10 miles per hour, and we've got wind gusts that are between 15 to 18 miles per hour in that area. And so that's what you're seeing here. Is you've got those southerly winds. So this is all associated with the Delta breeze, which is helping to cool things off. But it also, if you get a fire going, it's going to stir things up a bit. And so that's what we're dealing with right now. And you'll notice again with Livecopter 3 as we go into that area, and I actually, if we can bring up TV1, I do have a map showing you the location from, again, Doppler. And so this is going to be this area here. It's near Wolfskill Road, Highway 505, and you have Winters Road. That's all right there. So I don't know if it's right here or like in this area, but we're seeing, this is the location. I'm going to go ahead and put that right there near Wolfskill Road.
It's just north of that, north of Wolfskill. Yep,
right there, right in that area. And so, and what I've noticed is just mainly the grass. So you got all the dry grass that's there on the side of the road, and like you said, I mean, it could have been a spark from a chain or something. Very easily that could start off something like that. And luckily, it looks like all this is burning pretty low. So it's not getting up into the oak trees that are around there. You've got the green orchard that's there. That could be either an almond or a walnut orchard, probably one of those two. Those are pretty common in that area. And so I don't think that's going to be a problem, because underneath the trees, they usually plow those pretty good. And so I think it's just going to stay within this little triangle area. And the biggest concern would be those homes to the north. But even that looks like you said before, there's a pretty good fire break there with the dirt.
Well, and here we're seeing the firefighters are just arriving on scene. We see 3 people there. They're pulling the hose out and getting to work on these flames that we're seeing burning really close to the 505, and again, or that side street, I should say. That's a side street. But at least it hasn't stopped traffic, because we have seen that before, and that gets pretty scary, especially when the wind changes direction quickly and kind of just shoots up a wall of smoke in front of a driver. I've had it happen to me. It's very scary if people aren't paying attention. But luckily that hasn't happened, and luckily, it's a southerly wind he mentioned. It's out of the south, which means it's going towards the north, and there you can see they've got another.
Winters fire is now on scene there, and that's just on the northwest side of that particular orchard, which is right there on Winters Road.
And that looks like a water tender, isn't that? Yeah, so they're carrying water with them there, and I'm sure there's some kind of irrigation with that orchard, so that's why it's so nice and green and lush. And like Dirk mentioned, they probably are taking really good care of it underneath those trees, but it kind of burned right almost all the way up to the side of the orchard. Now, those utility poles that we saw burn, that's a different story.
Yeah, I was taking a look to see if we had any power outages in the area. I was not able to come up with any just yet, but what I did just confirm from CHP's communications page is this fire was first reported about 4:25. Somebody called in smoke and flames, and then they have transferred this to SAC Fire, and so they're trying to get units in from all throughout the area to get people on scene. But we did see that one unit pull up there on 505, and we saw the other unit from Winters Fire, that water tender, pulling up there on Winters Road.
Now there's the green engine that's also pulled up, another green fire engine. But I mean, just seriously, luck of the draw, and luckily this wind today, right now, is just pushing it all away from the road, and then hopefully they'll be able to get it stopped before it gets to those homes. But you could tell these people are very well prepared for something like this happening. And I love to find a bright side, and the good thing in this is, like, once this is burned, then it's burned for the season. So then you don't got to worry about it. So that's the good news there. But it looks like they are very well prepared. Unfortunately for those utility poles, you know, can't say much about that. But there they are on the ground. They're really putting some water on this as fast as they can.
Yeah, that firefighter in that truck now standing in between those flames and the orchard there off to the left. On the bottom there, that road is Wolfskill Road.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.